time I was on the set, like Jay, we were, I was on top and they were on the bottom. When I was walking around, that area, because I was waiting, 12 hours before I would actually get on, and there he was. He just kind of appeared, and like you look up and you look up and you look up, and he was in his whole regalia, and he has the deepest, most romantic, sincere voice. Like when he's talking to you, you think he's never said anything to anybody else. Really, to you? So he said, well, hello. And I did, I fluttered, and I was just like, hi. And he said, are you new on the show? I said, yes. And he said, well, welcome. And I went, oh, thank you. And if he had invited me to his cave at that moment, I think. And now, when Jay first met Ron, how did
I just have a little story about the first time Croman called my house, and we were on during the first season. And the phone rang in my house, and my wife picked it up, and she says, hello? And the voice says, you must be fond of. Yeah, who's this? This is Ron Perlman. And she said, oh. Well, hello yourself. Now, I'm listening to her octave drop. And finally I said, excuse me, who's on the phone? Hold on one moment, please. I'm sorry, Ron. Somebody's at my door. Would you talk to me a bit longer?
There's probably someone else's opinion you want to hear about, but the guy who first met Vincent, this is actually a guy who was one of the first people who ever laid eyes on Vincent. I think he just came in. Hey, friend, are you back there? Is my friend back here? Kos. I must be mistaken. I didn't deliver last night? So you doubt I can do it 2 days in a row? Okay, so my timing's off. Let's try it again. Hey, Kos, are you back there? Okay, guess so. Any other questions? I know you've been waiting. Please, share your question with the group.
I had one, since you mentioned your miracle of last night. Can you tell us a little bit about how you accomplished it?
Oh yeah, it's real simple. We have Ron's children locked in a closet, somewhere outside of Barstow. Well, last year after Vegas, Devorah asked me, actually many people in the group, Rose and Mike, had asked me if it was at all possible, could I speak to Ron and Linda and ask if they would be willing to join us this year. And I said, well, I'll do what I can, and we'll talk about it through the year. And basically, it was that kind of year. Ron was not really interested. He had a couple experiences at some of the conventions. Most of you know better than I the kind of things that went on, and he just was like, it's not for me to do anymore. And Linda, where I thought would be a little bit less excited about doing it, when I sort of mentioned her, she said, yeah, I'll do it. I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. I'm asking you to come. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay, no problem. So Linda, of course, would have been here, as many of you know, she's in Virginia, a year early, go figure. Working on a film right now with Charlie Sheen and The Shadow Project. Thank you. And so that's why Hamilton's not here. But Ron was really planning on not going, and I was persistent. But this week went real fast. His family was leaving to go to New York, and Ron said, even if I could go, because now he was like, figured he had it out. Even if I really could make it, I can't now. There's Opal and the kids and the thing, and you think Fonda's got a wild full of voice. You hear Opal in the other side of the living room. Oh, I'll let show. Anyway, basically, I can't. Then he called once and he said, you know what, Opal and the kids are going to go to New York. I have to go to London to Loop, the City of the Lost Children. Loop he's going to put in his English-speaking dialogue for this French film that he did last year. So he actually left today to do that. So it made him available with nothing to do last night. Whoa, what a coincidence. 600 of his closest friends happen to be like hanging out in the hotel ballroom. So plied him full of vodka and told him we were going to have like, a couple drinks with Hugh Grant. And boom, he was right there. No, I'm sorry, can I say that? Sometimes I don't even know. So that was it. Ron actually called this week and he said, I've been thinking about the invitation you've extended and the group here has extended, and he goes, I really want to thank everybody for, yeah, now you think that was the big one. Here it comes!
You guys haven't,
Oh yeah.
You haven't experienced an earthquake yet.
So now, Ron really was very emotionally taken back last night by everyone's outpouring of affection. He was in absolute bliss. We sat around for a little bit last night afterwards, and he was just moved by everyone's constant level of commitment and continued support, not only for talking about the show and sort of trying to keep the dream alive, but most importantly, and Ron spoke about this last night, and it's certainly one of the reasons you guys get me to come back every year, is the level of commitment you have with the charities that are represented. For the last few years, we've done some extraordinary work. Most of you have done extraordinary work by donating money for a lot of the tchotchkes that we bring up here to go to an extraordinarily needed cause, which is pediatric AIDS. This year, another charity embodies that. It's a place in Laguna, California, called the Laguna Shanti, and I always say this, and I know Ron, hopefully he imparted that to you last night. It's a real extraordinary legacy that you provide for us, reaching in your pocketbooks and supporting people that are a lot less fortunate than us. Thanks, Brian. So that's why Ron came. Was like to thank you all for your care and your support. So I hope that was evident. Yes. A wonderful experience, and I can tell you we've opened up some doors between us and Ron. Which is great, and it was perfect place, perfect time, and we're really fortunate that you guys are only a couple blocks away from this place. By the way, the bedroom is back here, if you didn't know that. So, again, the question earlier was, what was the first experience you had when you saw Vincent? Let's ask some of these guys what they know.